Okay, so for those that have not yet heard, Patrick Bet David over at Valuetainment has hired Chris Cuomo. No, not the politician Cuomo, but Chris Cuomo, the former CNN anchor. And it was a week or so ago here recently that they had a live podcast. Actually, it was I believe the day after or the night of the State of the Union address by President Biden. And they had Chris Cuomo live and Candace Owens live, and it was quite the show. If you missed it, I suggest you go check it out, or at least some of the clips that are rummaging around the interweb, as they are quite enlightening. And after hiring Chris Cuomo, Tim Pool had to put his 2 cents in, of course, and flipped off the deep end, but everyone knows Tim Pool and how he reacts, so no surprise there. Patrick Bet David has stated that he encourages debate, and for sure, having someone like Chris Cuomo on a regular basis will always show another side to the story, and I am a firm believer in getting all sides. This is why I don't believe in the duopoly monopoly, the two-party dictatorship that has rigged our system. The original Constitution calls for one representative, as in one congressperson for every 30,000 population in the census. Now, we all know that that's not what we have for representation. We're highly underrepresented, and this was all rigged by the duopoly monopoly, playing monkey in the middle with we the people. But getting back to the Patrick Bet David Chris Cuomo controversy, as he has hired Chris Cuomo on as a regular member of the Valuetainment ensemble. And this is going to be quite enlightening and entertaining on all levels. And I can't wait to see the developments that come from this endeavor. But what I'd like to postulate with this little podcast here is how long, and we can go ahead and start placing bets on it, and you guys can comment below whether it's a week, a month, 6 months, a year, how long before Chris Cuomo gets fed up and walks off stage and quits. Because we all know his stances on most of these things are so far to the extreme of what even the furthest person on the left is right now on that ensemble. So he's going to take them into a whole different direction. And I do agree with Patrick that everyone gets into a comfort zone in their bubble. And by bringing in a new form of debate, we can kind of either enlarge the bubble or burst the bubble. But either way, water is water, and it just becomes a bigger bubble. He understands these things. Tim Pool does not. What remains to be seen is, will Chris Cuomo have what it takes? And will he start seeing reason when presented with the logic? And Candace Owens was bewildered that even at that debate that they had, that I was telling you about earlier, that he could not see the reasoning after being presented with the facts in his face. And so that's why I think it'll be interesting in the long run to see how long he lasts. Will it be 2 weeks, a month, before he gets sped up with everybody calling him out, with everybody chewing him a new and everything else? Personally, I don't think he can hack it. I don't think he has what it takes. I think he's hurting for money. Patrick Bet David obviously can afford to hire the guests that he wants on his show, pay for the entertainment he wants, and hire his staff how he needs. And not only that, he's going to get a good return by hiring someone as controversial as Mr. Cuomo will be to the Valuetainment operation. It's already starting a controversy, and he hasn't even been on air yet as a member of Valuetainment. Like I said, the thing they did a week or two ago, that was a scheduled guest appearance, but now he has been hired officially by Patrick Bet David as an official member of Valuetainment. So let me know about your thoughts on this, guys, how you guys feel about it and where you guys think it's going to go. The Valuetainment podcast, the PBD, and how long do you think Chris Cuomo will last? I know it'll come down to him walking off because Patrick Bet David has the patience of what a lot of people don't. I wouldn't say a saint. Everyone has their breaking points, but I've watched a lot, and I'm sure you have, a lot of people trying to get egged and trolled and riled, and some can get riled and egged really easy, and Mr. Bet David does not. He stays cool, he analyzes all sides, and then instead of arguing with them, he proposes a question that will hopefully get them to switch their point of view, because that's how really it needs to be done. You know, when your parents used to tell you things, it never worked. It's like throwing a ball against the wall. It's going to bounce off and come right back to you. The effective way of getting through to someone is by asking them the question and then having their brain extrapolate the answer. And once it extrapolates the correct answer, boom, reasoning kicks in, and then hopefully it'll course correct and do the right thing. And speaking of course correction, if you haven't checked out my Pyramid Moon series, you need to go do that. The pyramids are sending signals to the moon. The moon controls our which I can't state unless, you know, this thing will get flagged. And that is the whole cause for and everything that they want to impose taxes on and regulate and everything else. So I highly suggest you go check out that series, the Pyramid Moon series, and it goes extensively into all the pyramids off the coast of Portugal, Japan, in the Arctic, in the Antarctic, just everywhere. This planet is literally littered with pyramids. So I suggest you go check out that series if you haven't already done so. Thanks for listening. You are listening to Musicians, Politicians, Magicians.